This is Your Own Best Company, a podcast for people who love to work alone. Hey there, everybody. Franklin Taggart here. Welcome to Your Own Best Company. A couple of things that are going on today, and that is that this is the 100th episode of Your Own Best Company, and it is going to be the last episode of Your Own Best Company. I've had some time this year to really look at all of the things that I've been doing, and I've just come to the conclusion that it is time for me to take a break from this particular theme and this particular format and try some new things. So the direction that I'm going to be working toward in the next little while, I'm going to continue to do coffee break podcasts on occasion. And in addition to that, I'm going to be doing more live broadcasting. I've been experimenting with TikTok. I've been experimenting with YouTube Shorts. I've been experimenting with Instagram Reels, etc. So I'm really interested to see how those do. But before I start doing that, I'm going to take some time to really gather my ideas, my creativity, and figure out what it's all going to be about. So this particular show, Your Own Best Company, came about in the middle of COVID, and it was a way to both honor and encourage and represent people like me who really love to work alone. There's just something magical about a room with a door and all of our tools around us and all of our ideas and things that we can do with that place and that time. So I wanted to honor that, and I believe that I've reached a really good end with that particular theme and topic, and it was very appropriate for the time during the pandemic. Now that we're out of the pandemic, I find my imagination going in other directions, and I want to kind of follow my curiosity where it leads next. Now, I'm very proud of all of the things that have happened in the last 2 years with both the interview podcast, Your Own Best Company, and the virtual coffee break. Altogether, I've had over 31,000 views and listens. At least those are the ones that I can keep track of. There are certain channels that I can't keep track of, and so I don't have any idea how my performance has been on those. But I've been delighted with the performance on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and some of the other main channels for podcasting and videos. So over 31,000, that to me has been one of the most successful content channels that I've worked with. So I'm not quite ready to throw in the towel on video and podcasting. But I am going to be shifting gears and going in some new content directions. I don't even really know what those are yet. I found out Buzzsprout sprung for a ticket for me to attend Podcast Movement in Denver next week, and I'm really excited about that, to start getting out there and meeting other podcasters and getting a sense for maybe where there are some gaps and maybe where I have some opportunity to bring my insights, my wisdom, my point of view to the table. So I'll be looking forward to that next week. Thanks to Buzzsprout and thanks to my friend Seth Silver for alerting me to the availability of those free passes. If it wasn't for that, I wouldn't be able to go. And it's been a few years since I've been to any kind of a conference, so I'm excited to see what that's going to be like. And I'm excited to check out the new Gaylord Resort in Denver. I haven't been there yet either. And it's this big, massive thing out in the middle of nothing. So I'm interested to see what those Gaylord folks have been up to out in the middle of the prairie. Another thing that I've been really excited about with especially the Your Own Best Company podcast, the guests that I've had have been an amazing group of people. Now, the wonderful thing that I'm excited about is that I still have pre-edited, pre-recorded segments of all of my guests that I'm going to be able to continue to share. So while I won't be producing new programs, there are still hundreds of hours of clips that I can share on YouTube, on Facebook, on Instagram, on all of my channels. So you won't see it going completely away, but I'm excited about all of the different smaller segments that I've got to share for those of you who may have missed Your Own Best Company the first time around. The shows that have done best for me, the guests who have performed extraordinarily well, there are a couple of ones that stand out above all of the rest. And this isn't to say that all of my guests have been amazing, but these two in particular have gotten more downloads and listens than any of the others. And one of them is Danielle Gardner. And when we did her show on quiet marketing, that show has done extraordinarily well. And Danielle has just started a couple of new programs that sound absolutely fantastic. So if you haven't heard Danielle's show, she's done 2 shows on Your Own Best Company. But her first show on quiet marketing has been the highest performing show that I've done in the last 2 years, 2+ years now. And then the second show has actually been a more recent one. And that was the show that we did with Jessica Abel, who was here to talk about focus and decision making as a creative entrepreneur and as a creative person. She has some great tools, but that particular show got a lot of views and listens, and it hasn't been around as long as the show with Danielle Gardner. So remains to be seen what the life of that episode is going to look like. The other thing that I am really excited about, as far as content is concerned, I'm really delighted that YouTube has decided to start promoting podcasts and to feature them on YouTube Music. It's been really easy to make the transition, and Spotify has added video. So between Spotify and YouTube, my video and audio channels have rapidly expanded over the last several months. And it's been fun to see the number of views increase with that happening as well. My podcasts are available on all of these different channels on, of course, YouTube and Spotify, but they're also available on Amazon Music. They're available on Audible. They are available on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and all of these other places. So the availability is not going away, and the podcasts will still be available on all of those channels. And of course, they'll always be available on my website, franklintaggart.com. So I just wanted to fill you in on a little bit of the news. My favorite things to talk about have been in the area of business. Some of the folks that I've spoken with, we've talked quite a bit about the spiritual aspect of being an entrepreneur, and that has been a favorite topic for me to explore with them. And then other folks have been coming on talking a little bit about more the logistical side of things, like how to do stuff. I remember an episode with Jason Van Orden early on where we talked about how to do your first online course. And then we've talked with like Kat Stancic on how to generate leads for your business from the people that are already on your contact list. I talked with just recently, one of the most recent ones was with Camille Miller, and it was all about deliberate creation, and I loved the things that she had to say. So I've covered a large gamut of topics with folks, and it has been a whole lot of fun. Now, on the coffee break, it's going to continue. It's still going to be mostly short solo shows with me. I will be doing some coffee break takeover shows like the one I did with Jess Kotzer not too long ago on automation. But I will be continuing to broadcast, and I will be continuing to look for interesting topics and interesting people to feature on the show. The other thing that I've wanted to do, and it's something that I kind of got away from when I was so focused on the podcast, I used to do quite a few tutorial videos, and there are a lot of things coming out right now that I am interested in, and there are some tips and tricks and tutorials that I want to put together. So I'm going to be focusing a little bit on that too, and that's one of the reasons that I wanted to free up some time. My tutorial videos have been kind of sporadic, but I really enjoy teaching people how to do different things with their software, with different apps, with different websites, with different tools that are available. And so I'm excited to get back to that. And in addition to that, I'm really excited to have, the interview podcasts generally took between 5 and 6 hours to produce each episode, and I'm really looking forward to having that time back to dedicate to other activities. So I want to thank you most of all for hanging in there and listening to my podcasts. Again, the only thing that's changing right now is Your Own Best Company as we know it is being shelved, and I'm going to continue on doing my solo shows and picking up the pieces here and there and figuring out what's next. So stay tuned. I'm not sure what it's going to look like, but I want it to be valuable to you. I don't want to waste your time. If you have any, comments about your experience with Your Own Best Company or the virtual coffee break, I'd love to hear what you have to say. You can leave your comments on social media. You can leave them through the messaging on my website, or you can leave them if you're listening to this on Spotify. There's a dedicated space where you can leave comments. I believe you can leave voice comments or text comments, either one. If you've found something valuable about our time together, I'd love to hear about it. So thank you again for all that you've done to support this podcast and all the other things that I've been doing. I hope to see you again down the road, and I always want you to remember that if you're feeling stuck in your career, your business, or just in life in general, coaching is available, and it all starts with a free 1-hour session called Your Best Next Step. You can get a hold of that through bit.ly/bestnextstepcall. All right, and I'm always available at franklintaggart.com. Thanks again for listening, and I'll be back again real soon.